My name is Kathy H. I'm 28 years old. I now spend most of my time not looking forwards, but looking back and what happened to us at Hailsham.
Catch it, Tommy!
Why didn't Tommy get the ball?
There was once a boy who had ran off beyond the boundary. They found him in the woods, with his hands and feet cut off.
Who told you these stories?
Everybody knows them.
And how do you know they're true?
You'd make up stories as horrible as that.
I just finished this book a few days ago.
Oh, great.
And I think of all the books I've read, I've never been more haunted when I turned that last page. It hits you like a sledgehammer.
I know.
Can you compare turning that last page whenever you read the book to on the last day of shooting, how those were similar or different?
It was funny actually, because we didn't walk away. Andrew and I, they shot all of the adult stuff first. So we shot the cottages, then we shot completion. We were lucky enough to shoot in sequence. So we shot everything in the cottages, then we shot everything in completion. And then they went back to shoot Hailsham. So it wasn't like saying, we'd finished, we'd wrapped, but we were sort of still there. So I think we sort of phased ourselves out because we didn't want to walk away.
Students of Hailsham are special. Keeping yourselves well, keeping yourselves healthy inside is of paramount importance.
In my group, being the only person that had read the book, a lot of people came to me, and the question that most people asked me was, well, why didn't they just run? Exactly. And I was like, well, it just, in my opinion, it just wasn't in their mind. It wasn't even like a possibility.
Yeah.
How do you get in that mindset of, it just not being a possibility to run away?
Well, I think, the first portion of the script is really informative in that, Charlotte Rampling's character tells them they're special, and you see all of these you see them growing up and being bred to believe that they have a purpose, they have a duty. The scene where Sally Hawkins tells the children, the truth, none of them react as if this is new information. This is something they've assimilated since childbirth. So if it's that ingrained in them that doesn't affect them really beyond, looking slightly shocked, it means they already know. And if it means that much at that stage, that's sort of the path they're on, and they're not really going anywhere. Because
didn't they say that in the book, that's why we were surprised, because in a way we kind of already knew?
Yeah, and she says that in this. She says, you know and you don't know, you've been told and you haven't been told. And so it's really just confirming things. And for Kathy, she goes through this entire process of deferrals with Tommy, but she kind of already knows. She kind of, I've never believed that she had hope for the deferrals. I think it's just something that she had to go through for his sake.
None of you will do anything except live the life that has already been set out for you. And sometime around your third donation, your short life will be complete. That's what you're created to do.
Was there anything that you were disappointed that was left out?
I love that bit, well, you'll know because you've read it, where, because at the end of the book, Tommy asks Kathy to not be his carer, and we changed that for the purpose of the film. But I love the bit where he says, I feel like we're these two people standing in a river somewhere and the river's raging around us and we're trying desperately to hold on to each other. It's a shame, Kath, because we've loved each other all our lives. And I just love that line so much. And I was desperate to have it put in, but there was nowhere to place it really, because once there are no deferrals, it was time to sort of finish the story. It wasn't time to sort of reflect on anything.
But that was a great moment in the book, because there was that beat, and I think again he repeated, "It's a shame," and that's why it was just.
I know. It's this like diminutive language that means so much, and it's amazing.
We were moved from Hailsham at 18. Tommy, Ruth, and I.
Exactly how much experience have you guys had with the outside?
Quite a lot.
We haven't.
Drinks?
5 Cokes, please. If there was a boy and a girl, and they were properly in love and they could prove it, then they would be given a few years together before they began their donations.
Why do you do that thing, squeezing Tommy's shoulder?
I'm allowed to touch Tommy, aren't I?
That's the way you're touching him.
Was there anything from the process of reading the book to being on screen that you learned about the character that maybe you didn't know after you read the book?
No, I think I had a pretty good sense of her. I think the one thing maybe I adjusted when we started working was how she treats Ruth, because she can come off as slightly virtuous if you play, because she is so caring, she does put other people first. And we were doing that scene by the sink, and we did one take, and I was really nice, and I was sort of skirting around the subject. And Kira was like, "Why are you being so sweet to me? We're sisters. Like, sisters don't talk like that. Just be honest." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right." I'm not going to be nice. You know, so there were tiny things like that where I thought, well, she's not a hero. She's not perfect. She's flawed. And so I think, yeah, she was sort of a more flawed character than I thought she was.
Suppose for a second that there is a special arrangement for Hailsham students if they're in love.
Although Tommy really likes you as a friend, he just doesn't see you that way.
We are modelled on trash.
We're in love, and it's true love. It's verifiable.
We didn't have to look into your souls. We had to see if you had souls at all.
Did you look at the book differently after having done this character?
I can't put the book down now. I'm constantly going back to it. You know, and the horrible thing about doing something like this is that you look back at it a year later and go, oh, why did I do it like that? You know, you want to make different choices informed by anything that you've learned in the last year. So no, I don't look at the book differently. There's always things I wanted to take from the book and things that I could have expanded on.
I wish I could help you. You poor creatures.
Maybe none of us really understand what we've lived through, or feel we've had enough time.